This game had such a bad launch that it went straight to mostly negative on Steam, and it was mainly because of launch issues. There was issues with the downloader because it uses a third-party downloader. There were server issues, matchmaking issues, party issues, but in-game there wasn't really any bugs. And if you look through the reviews on Steam, there was all criticisms against these launch issues, but generally the praise of the game, the gameplay itself, is really high because it is a good playing game. But now the server issues have been fixed, and you can see the review graph is now gone to mixed, and you're getting more positive reviews than negative reviews. And I have talked about this game a few times before on the channel. I really recommended it when it launched into its current open beta state, which it is free to play if you didn't know. And I felt really bad because all the people I'd recommended this game to, a lot of them were having all these issues, so they just really couldn't play it and get the experience that I've been having before open beta launch and that I'm having now. Because these launch issues have now been resolved, I feel completely comfortable highly recommending PC players to play this game. Yeah, it's currently only on PC. I do think it will become to console in future because there's no reason for it. But you're probably asking, why should you play this game instead of Modern Warfare 2 that's just released, or the worst Battlefield game that's been released throughout the entire series? Well, I did make a video comparing this game against Modern Warfare 2 and why this game is better than Modern Warfare 2. The main reason is the gunplay, which I'll show you here. So we have Modern Warfare on the left and this game on the right, and you can see from the gunplay and how it looks when you're actually firing your weapon that in Modern Warfare the guns are having this little earthquake syndrome, I like to call it, where the sight itself is jumping and bouncing around so much it's visually, in my opinion, terrible in terms of even just tracking your opponent. But in this game on the right, it's so much more cleaner, tighter, and honestly just, well, again, in my opinion, just so much better for a user to be playing with. You can keep track of your targets so much better, and when it comes to the damage of the weapons, this game does have a lower time to kill than Modern Warfare, and the assault rifles do actually work at long range. While in Call of Duty there is like a really steep damage drop off, in this game there is damage drop off, but it's no way near as pronounced as Call of Duty. So if you want to use assault rifles at long range, you can, and it does work really well. So what is this game I hear you ask? Well, it's World War 3 and it's currently in its free-to-play open beta period, but once open beta finishes it will be free to play and it will stay free to play. And the game is a great sort of mix of casual, tactical and hardcore. It's one of those games you can just jump into for a few rounds and have a good experience. And I say it's a mix of casual, hardcore and tactical because, well, it is just a more of a traditional first-person shooter with the time to kill being quite low. With assault rifles, I mean, you can kill people in 3 body shots. If you get a headshot in there, then it's less. So that does give it a bit of a more tactical and hardcore feel. There's a whole bunch of weapons to unlock in the game. Loads of assault rifles, SMGs, shotguns, battle rifles, which are just like automatic big boy assault rifles, snipers, LMGs. You got some launchers in there as well, and some sidearms. It also has probably I'm going to say the second best weapon customization I've seen, because Tarkov probably sits at the top of that. I don't think any game is going to come close to Tarkov for years. But World War 3, you can change a whole bunch of attachments. You can put individual skins on each attachment. You also have a backpack system where you can change certain attachments or equipment on the fly in the middle of the game, similar to like Battlefield 2042. And for vehicle players, there's a whole bunch of vehicles as well which you can unlock, and again customize these vehicles with skins on individual parts, change the weapons, change the armor, change some little gadgets on them as well. So there's a whole bunch of different stuff for each playstyle. Now, since it is a free-to-play game, you're probably asking, is it pay to win? Well, there's a whole bunch of cosmetic options you can buy in the game. I wouldn't say there's any camouflage options which really hide you. People are really easy to spot, and the cosmetics, they're not like these big anime schoolgirl stuff. It is military themed, and I'm going to say realistic stuff. Currently, all the skins you can buy and cosmetics you can buy are themed around certain nations' armies, but you can mix and match stuff, so you can make yourself look quite a bit different. The veteran players are people who purchased the game before the game went free to play, do have access to this 80s villain guard cosmetic, which I call it, because it just stands out a bit more of like a ridiculous thing, but I kind of like it. You can buy some weapon blueprints as well, and what these are, say if you buy an M4 blueprint but you haven't actually unlocked the M4 yet, you can use that M4 blueprint, but you cannot customize it at all. You could say that is a tiny bit pay to win because you can get access to later weapons earlier, but generally all these weapons, there's not one weapon which is the best. The standard assault rifle you start with, you can just use that, and if you're a good shooter, you will dominate people. But getting access to later equipment, in my eyes, is a little bit pay to win. But thankfully, if you come across people that are using these blueprints, it's nothing too pronounced or advantageous. And you can do the same with vehicles as well. You can buy certain vehicle blueprints which do have these certain preset loadouts. And again, if you haven't unlocked that vehicle, you cannot change that blueprint. You can just use that single blueprint. And vehicles in this game, even the standard vehicles, can be almost like game changers. They can absolutely dominate a match. If you're good at playing vehicles, you can absolutely dominate a server. And some people do complain that vehicles are tough to take out or maybe too strong. But all you need to do is get a couple of people to switch their loadout to an anti-tank one, get some rockets on it, and it's easily destroyed. I'm not much of a vehicle player myself. If you've seen any videos on this channel or my streams, then I always really call myself an infantry only guy. When it comes to Hell Let Loose, I've maybe played 3 to 4 hours in a tank out of over 1,200 hours worth of gameplay because I do just like infantry gameplay. But in this game, you do have access to a helicopter drone which you can equip machine guns or rockets to, and I love using this thing. It is very powerful, but it is also very weakly armored, so it can be destroyed quite quickly. And the infantry gameplay, in my opinion, is top tier. If it wasn't really good, I wouldn't be playing it. The movement is very solid. You won't have all these people dolphin diving around or sprint jumping around corners like you get in Call of Duty, or I've seen people sprint jumping out of windows and proning in midair and doing 360s. You don't get any of that. It is more of a, to steal it from Call of Duty, boots on the ground gameplay. All the guns do feel extremely good to use. They're all punchy, they do good damage. Of course, stuff like SMGs and shotguns do less damage at range because of what they're mainly designed for, being close quarters, but if you get an SMG or a shotgun in close quarters, they can dominate. The shotguns in World War 3 at close range do actually one-hit kill people, which you would expect them to do because that's what, you know, shotguns are designed for close quarters combat. Most of the infantry gameplay you're seeing right now is me using the AK-15. It's an assault rifle that's got high recoil but high single shot damage, so I like putting it into single fire for those long range fights and really dominating people. I'm just trying to rank up high enough so I can unlock the SA-80 and just try and kit that out to be a good weapon because, well, it's the British rifle and I just want to use it. But for World War 3, it is in a really good position right now. I don't know how long it's going to be in open beta for, but like I said, when it comes out of open beta, it will still be free to play. We have Season 1 coming soon. I don't know what content is going to be in it, but we have seen some new weapons and a new map being teased. The Battle Pass isn't active yet, so I don't know what's going to be in that Battle Pass. I hope they don't try and put in any pay-to-win stuff, and I hope with future content we do see new modes, because at the moment there is only 2 modes. There's a Team Deathmatch and a Tactical Conquest, which is Conquest. You know, you got to capture your points and link them together to win the game. But I do hope we see this extra content soon, with extra modes, new guns, new maps, all the good stuff. World War 3 is in a really solid position right now, so I do highly recommend it. It is free to play on Steam, so just check it out on Steam and download it. I do regularly stream the game on the channel, so if you want to see more content for it, subscribe so you can check out these streams, and I do like to team up sometimes with random people from the chat. So if you like this video, give it a like, dislike if you didn't. Leave a comment on what you think about World War 3, you're going to check it out, have you played it already, what do you think about it? Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on the next one.